Hope everyone's having a great day. I just wanted to get on and talk about body image, specifically with cancer and having a colostomy bag. Now let's see if I can get through this without tearing up. I can feel it coming already. Anyways, I finally had to go seek professional help from a psychologist regarding this. Now, I have a healthy self-esteem. I have a healthy body image. For the most part, I don't struggle with it. But your body does go through changes. And whether you're a guy or a girl or somewhere in between, some of the changes can be pretty drastic. And I'm not talking about the hair loss aspect of it, although that can be part of it. That wasn't an issue for me. I just didn't expect it. For me, the biggest thing that had the impact on my body image, my sense of my physical self, was the weight loss, and which I thought was really interesting because I've always wanted to lose 10 pounds, and I always liked being just a little bit on the slender side, and so that wasn't really an issue for me. But it's when you lose 30 pounds, when you don't have 30 pounds to lose, and you're gaunt, and your body is atrophied. It's this weird thing that sort of happens when you're super inactive and you're going through chemo, and it's very harsh, and I wasn't able to eat really, so I wasn't getting any nutrients. So it's interesting, like your skin starts to sag, your muscles become flaccid, and just there's not much. You just feel like your skin's hanging off your bones. And there were times where I would look in the mirror and, I've crepey skin everywhere. And it's not like I was overweight, so it's like a, loose skin from weight loss. It was just like lack of tone in your skin. And, your muscles go away. I was always used to being athletic. Even if I wasn't actually athletic, I was always athletic looking. So I always had muscle, or I always had padding, and I always had shape to my body, and that changed. And I looked very, very elderly. And don't come after me, elderly people, don't come after me. All bodies are beautiful. This is not a judgment whatsoever. But when you go from looking 30 years old to looking 80 years old in a matter of a couple of months, you're just not ready for it. And, I have no issue with aging, and I just wasn't ready for it. After I had the surgery to get rid of the cyst and had the bowel resection, I'm able to eat again, and the crepiness, the skin crepiness, has gone away. I've gotten some shape. I've gained about 10 pounds. But most of the difference isn't necessarily the weight that I've gained back. It's the muscle tone. It's that I'm using my body again, and I've gotten my muscle shape back. I don't think I ever want the weight back. Maybe I'll put on another 5 pounds at the most. But I got my shape back. And that was just a very interesting journey to go on that I didn't expect. And I hadn't really heard anyone talk about it. But it when you're going through chemo, or you have cancer, or you're really sort of chronically sick, and you can... Is he chewing on his bone? Every single time I do a video, he's going to sit behind me and chew on his bone at loud volume. Anyways, I don't have any advice for it. Like I said, I was sitting in the doctor's office for something completely unrelated, and we started talking about the colostomy bag. And, I was just kind of talking about how I deal with it and it's a thing, it's not a big deal, I was just kind of writing it off. And then all of a sudden I just started crying and I became very, very emotional. And I realized that I needed to talk to someone about, not only going through cancer, but the effect it has not only on who you are and what you think your life is going to be, and how to emotionally deal with it, but also to deal with the body image part of it. There's this part of you that thinks, who cares about the body? I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be out of pain. Who cares what it looks like? Whatever. If I lose my hair, no big deal. I that's a price to pay. And while that is true, there's also another aspect of it that can't be ignored, and that is how you feel about yourself and how you feel about your body and how you feel about your vitality. Especially if you have any of your worthiness tied to how you look or how you perform or what you can get done through the day, all of that stuff changes. And my only advice right now, if you've sat through the 6 minutes of this, is go see a professional. I'm going to see a psychologist who works in the hospital and, deals with this thing all the time. I hesitated going to like a cancer support group, although that might work for some people. That's just not for me. I'd rather go to a professional. I want that perspective. I don't necessarily want the perspective of other people who are still in it. Although it's very, very valuable, for me, it's just not the right choice for right now. Maybe it will be. The colostomy bag thing also changes your body image as well. Fortunately, as far as I know, mine's temporary. And I keep promising that I'm going to do videos on this. It's like kind of an overwhelming amount of things to talk about it. Who really wants to get together and talk about shit for 20 minutes? But having, let's see if I can get through this. It's so interesting because I'm so okay with it. I'm so okay with having it, and I appreciate it. And it's not that big of a deal, but still, even talking about it, these feelings come up. So this is when I was like, okay, obviously there's something I'm not processing about it. It does change the way you feel about yourself. Damn it. I don't want to start this over again. It does. It just does. And I guess I just wanted to share that if you're going through something like that it's okay. It's weird to have something artificial on you that's full of something that no one wants to talk about. Generally, you hide it. If you're having feelings about it, go see someone. I, in a way, am lucky because I'm single and I don't date. So for me, it's not like I'm looking for love and this is going to come in the way, or this is a conversation I'm going to have with someone, or that, down the road I might like someone, or I might start a relationship with, and then I'm going to have this conversation, and then I would have to face possible rejection because of it. I'm lucky I don't have to deal with that. But that very easily could not be the case. And if I was looking to partner up, that would be a huge obstacle. And I can't even imagine going through that alone without either professional help or someone who's been through it before, or, really understanding yourself through this process. I'm also lucky that weirdly, that I'm not partnered up. So this is not an adjustment that a partner has to make. I don't have to worry or wonder, what they think about it or have to work around it. I know a lot of partners are really, really supportive, and they're just happy to have you. They're happy for you to be healthy and to be happy, and you work around it. It's not a big deal. It doesn't affect intimacy and that kind of stuff, as far as I know. Anyways, so I'm actually kind of on the easy spectrum of this. I just have to deal with my own feelings about it, and if I have something significant to share, I'll get on to share. But I just wanted to say that this is not something that I expected to deal with. My process was more like when we were talking about it, 6 months ago, that this might be something I might have to get me through the chemo and get me through the cancer. I was like, no way. And then when it got to the point where I had a bowel obstruction and I was going to die if I didn't get it, then it was like, go ahead, no big deal, whatever. I did have a friend who reassured me, I have a friend who has a friend who was like, just get it, it's not that big of a deal. And that reassurance was huge for me. And if you might be in that spot now, or you end up finding yourself in that spot, just get it. It's really, really not a big deal. Yes, you're going to have some feelings around it, and it's going to be uncomfortable and weird to manage it in a weird way. It's not a lot to manage, but it's just weird. It's just weird to be sitting there and to know everything that your intestines are doing. Like, there's no hiding it. I was having kind of a funny conversation with a friend of mine the other day. We were talking about baggage. And, like I said, I'm not really dating, but if I was, I'd be quite literally have baggage. Like we talk about whether you find a mate that has too much baggage or not, or what their baggage is like, their emotional baggage. I quite literally have my baggage out in the open for everyone to see. Not quite literally, but I have to see it. I have to deal with it. And there's this weird sort of correlation between having to deal with your shit and having a colostomy bag. I'm not sure. I'm trying to remember what the word is, like quite literally and hypothetically. So every day I have to deal with my crap. Which is really, really odd because I've spent so many years not dealing with my crap. I'm actually dealing with other people's crap, which is really odd because I used to be a nurse's aide. I quite literally dealt with other people's crap. Now I'm dealing with my own. So, for whatever it's worth, I actually have an appointment here coming up, which is what made me think to post this. But keep searching on YouTube, find people who have something in common with you and how they're dealing with it. Like for me, it was knowing that there were other young women out there, who were not hiding, who were beautiful women, who were fully functional, who were confident, and they just had this thing, but they didn't let it really stop them or affect them. So listening to their stories and seeing their stories is what helped me tremendously. I now see that it does take a while to get there. My little hairs are falling out. And to be patient with yourself. For me, I think I've only had this now for about a month or so. And I remember sitting in the hospital bed after having it done and being pretty freaked out about it, and just, what can you do but get on your phone and try and get information about it, what this is going to be like, what your life is going to look like, you have the questions that you have, get them answered. And, you can go to, you can talk with a nurse They have nurses that specialize in this, but maybe they aren't qualified to cover the emotional or psychological aspects of this. So that's something to, even though you might be getting good technical advice for how to manage it, there's also feelings that go along with it, and that's totally fine. Get some help. It's the only thing that I can say right now. And I'm a big supporter of therapy, although I think therapy has its limits. My intention is to go through this for a couple of months, at least get me through this initial part. And I'm sure other stuff will come up too, dealing with the cancer and that kind of stuff. So I think that's it for now. I'm going to let you guys go. Be patient with yourself. This will pass. As I'm going through it right now, I do know that this will pass. That's one thing that I've learned throughout all of this, is that everything passes and you get through everything, and it becomes just a part of your history and a part of your story, and you can share it if you want, and then it becomes part of someone else's story, and bit by bit by bit, it makes life a little bit easier. Life gets a little bit easier in ways, maybe you can make life easier, a little bit easier for someone else. You never know, something that you might say, even if you're talking about a bag of poop. It's just bizarre. It's just so bizarre. Anyways, that's it for now. I hope everyone's having a great day.